Now, even with the rising popularity of the SUVs in the Indian market, the sedans are making a comeback. We saw the launch of the new Vertas, the new Slavia, and recently Honda updated its very popular City with a facelift variant and added a lot of new features. Hyundai, India's second largest manufacturer, is answering these sedans with the all-new Verna. Now, this Verna that we have with us right now, it's nothing like the older generation vehicle that used to be selling in the Indian markets. This car, the all-new Verna, it has already garnered over 9,000 bookings. So what's so special about it? We are going to explore that in this video. We will talk about the new engine, the new features, and the new car overall. So make sure that you stay tuned till the end of the video and give us a thumbs up and a like if you like this video. Now, as you already know, Hyundai doesn't offer a diesel engine with the all-new Hyundai Verna. It only gets the petrol engine options, and we are driving the most powerful variant in the segment, which gets powered by a 1.5 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It generates a maximum power of 160 PS and the torque peaks at 253 Nm. Now, this is the most fun to drive variant of the Hyundai Verna lineup. Why is that? Well, that's because of the 6-speed manual transmission. You also get a 7-speed DCT, but the one that we are driving is a 6-speed manual, and we are having utmost fun with this car. With the 7-speed DCT, Hyundai claims that it can do a 0 to 100 km/h figure in just 8.1 seconds. With the manual transmission, if you shift all the gears perfectly, you are going to achieve that figure in less than 8.1 seconds, and that speaks volumes about this all-new Hyundai Verna. Now, why do I say that? Well, that's because this platform, it is now longer, and it also gets the longest wheelbase in the segment, which is now up by 70 mm. What that does is, on the straight lines, on the straight highways, when you are driving at a pretty high speed, the new Hyundai Verna, it feels extremely stable. So with a longer wheelbase, the footprint has increased, and of course, while you're driving at a straight line, the stability of the car, it has improved by a lot. Which also means if I'm going to take fast speed lane changes, you can do that with pretty much ease. We are currently driving at around 80 kmph, and you just saw that how easy was that lane change. Apart from that, Hyundai has reworked on the steering wheel, and this new Hyundai Verna, it is nothing like the older generation car. If you have driven it, I'm sure many of you must have driven the old generation Verna. Well, this car feels leaps ahead of that vehicle, and that's also largely because of the steering wheel, the reworked steering wheel. It feels quite maneuverable at the lower speeds, at the slower speeds. Even though the dimensions of the car has increased, the size has gone up, you can maneuver it very easily, and at the highest speeds, as I told you before, it feels very stable. You can see that there is not much play in the steering wheel. It has become very much precise. You won't feel like that you are driving a Hyundai with this all-new Verna. They have improved so much. Apart from that, we have been driving this car since morning in heavy city traffic, and it has been giving us a phenomenal fuel efficiency, which is currently showing at around 18 kmpl. Hyundai claims that the new Verna, the 1.5 turbocharged petrol with manual transmission, it can return a fuel efficiency of well over 20 kmpl. However, since we have been shooting this car in a lot of start and go traffic, and the AC has been on and the car has been idling, I think the fuel efficiency, it's pretty impressive for this vehicle. Now, coming to the comfort part, Hyundai has now completely retuned the suspension. The front suspension now gets the McPherson struts, and the rear, it gets a torsion beam. We have been driving this car over a lot of rough patches, and this car has been very comfortable. As my colleague said earlier, this car feels like you are sitting on a pillow. This is so comfortable, and while driving you can feel the stiffness of the suspension. So Hyundai has done a massive work there, and we must appreciate Hyundai's efforts in all this. So overall, the driving and the comfort level of the all-new Hyundai Verna, it has improved by leaps and bounds. It is nothing like what you used to know. The all-new Hyundai Verna, it has become much safer than before as well. Apart from using a higher percentage of high-strength steel, Hyundai is now offering 30 standard safety features starting from the base variant, which includes 6 airbags, including the side airbags, the curtain airbags and the front airbag. Apart from that, the new Hyundai Verna, it also gets ADAS system. Now it might not be the first ADAS in the segment, however it is the most advanced one. It uses 2 radars, one in front, one in rear, and a camera system which is mounted in the front windshield. Now since this is a manual version, it doesn't get the adaptive cruise control, but apart from that it gets everything else, including the front collision warning. And since it gets rear radar as well, it also gets extra features over its competitor, like the safe exit and a safe exit from parking warning. Plus you also get the blind spot monitoring warning, which will blink and tell you if there is another vehicle in your blind spot, and it happens a lot in the Indian roads. So overall, the new Hyundai Verna, it has become much safer than before as well. Now the all-new Verna, it has grown much bigger in size than before. If you see the length of the car, it has increased by an overall length of 95 mm. The width of the car, it has increased by 36 mm, and even the wheelbase, it has grown by a massive 70 mm, making it the longest car in the segment with the longest wheelbase in the segment as well. The height although remains the same. So what that does is it gives a very sleek look to the Verna, and even the coefficient drag has reduced. Now coming to the looks, as you can see, it looks nothing like before. Since this is the top-end turbocharged variant, it gets a few sporty bits. As you can see, you get the new parametric grille at the front, and there is a new separate grille which is positioned just above that. This grille is not available with the 1.5 naturally aspirated engine powered Verna. You get a wide DRL. Now this DRL, it doesn't work as a dual purpose thing. It will remain DRL even though you turn your indicators on. I will show you that later in the video. The headlamps, they are located right below that, and this is the turn indicator. There are no fog lamps in this. Since this is an all LED system, there is no need of the fog lamps. It is pretty bright in the night time. Coming to the side of it, you get 16 inches all black alloy wheels, and the design of the alloy wheels as well, they are pretty captivating. Hyundai says that this as well is a parametric design, and it sure will grab a lot of eyeballs. Since this is the turbocharged variant, you also get red colored calipers, and surely looks fantastic on the roads. You get dual tone finish on the ORVMs. You get integrated headlamps, turn indicators here. The door handles, they are pretty chunky, they are pretty big in size, and the finish on them, it looks pretty premium. They are not all and out chrome finish. It's not very shiny. It's a matte finish, and it looks very rich premium. The Hyundai Verna also gets a massive ground clearance. So we have been driving this car around Gurgaon till now with massive speed breakers, and the ground clearance has helped it overcome all of them without touching it even once. Now you also get a pretty interesting design lines on the side. You can see these creases. It will seem quite complicated at the first look, however under the right shadows and the right light, these things, they make the Hyundai Verna look ferocious. It makes it look very aggressive. We definitely like how it looks from the side. Now Hyundai has tried giving it a coupe type look, and it surely looks very sporty with that. You can also see the parametric design elements on the C pillar of this car. Now rear of the car is pretty interesting. Just like the front, you get a similar light bar that you get in the front of the car that connects both the tail lamps. The tail lamps themselves are very aggressively designed, and the turn indicators, they are positioned separately below the main tail lamp cluster. At the rear as well, you get the parametric element, which again makes the car look very sporty. And since we are driving the turbo variant of the car, it gets the 1.5 turbo badge as well. You get a shark fin antenna over the top. And overall, we think Hyundai has given the Verna a very futuristic look, a look that a lot of cars in the future from Hyundai will get. It definitely looks quite electric, it definitely looks quite futuristic in our opinion. What do you think about the looks of the all new Hyundai Verna? Do let us know in the comment section. Now let's quickly jump inside the car and check out what all does it offer. Now we are on the driver's seat of the all new Hyundai Verna, and since this is the top end variant powered by a turbocharged engine, you can see that it gets the sporty interior, which means it gets an all black finish with red highlights all over on the dashboard as well as on the seats. The seats themselves, they are leatherette, they get red piping and red stitches. You will see the red stitches all over, including the mask of the gear lever, and it really does look sporty. With the 1.5 liter naturally aspirated power variants of the Hyundai Verna, you get the regular Hyundai beige and black dual tone finish. It also gets the brown piping. However, since we are only driving this car, we will talk about this variant only. Now coming to the driver's seat, right in front of me lies an all new steering wheel which gets 2 spokes. It also gets the red stitches and it definitely looks very sporty. However, since it's a 2-spoke steering wheel, at times you do not get to know if the steering wheel is upside down or straight ahead. We would have really appreciated if Hyundai could have added a flat bottom to the steering wheel to make it less confusing. Right in front of me lies 2 10.25-inch displays that are placed side by side. This one, it works as an infotainment system, and this one, it works as a driver instrument cluster. It's very bright, and even in direct sunlight, it is very readable. It's very visible as well. Now it shows a lot of information as you drive the car. It shows the refueling, it shows the TPMS and a host of other features, including the ADAS settings. It also gets color coded themes, which means when you change the driving mode, it will change the color as well, and it looks pretty good as well. The new Hyundai Verna, it also gets 64 ambient light, which you can change from this infotainment system right here. Since we are shooting this car in the direct sunlight, we can't really show you the ambient light right now, but trust us, it does look very good. Now coming to the dashboard, it is hard plastic all over here on the upper part, but the lower part, the lower segment of the dashboard, it's all soft touch and it does feel very premium. You can see the red highlight running across the dashboard. It looks very sporty, as I told you before. Even the knobs of the air conditioner grill, the climate control grill, they get the red highlights. Now right below that, you get a pretty futuristic technology. Now this is a display which is now currently displaying the climate control of the car, but give it a touch and it will change to the controls that you can use to control the infotainment system. So you don't have to control it all through your hands. You can use this touch setup, and it's a very quirky feature. It's a very new feature. None of the cars in the segment offers this, and we very much appreciate how Hyundai has integrated it to the vehicle. It saves space and looks futuristic as well. Right below that, you get controls for the seats, which means the Hyundai Verna's front 2 seats, they get ventilation, which means it will throw cool air at you. And if you are traveling in cold environment, cold climate conditions, it also get heated seats. Now the competition like the Slavia and the Virtus, they do offer cooled seats, but Hyundai Verna is the only car to offer heated seats in this segment. Below that, you get a wireless phone charger, which means you can put your compatible phones right here to charge them as you go on the move. Apart from that, you also get a USB-C type connector, a 12-volt charging station, which you can put your car chargers. Now the infotainment system, it's quite futuristic as well. You get multiple BlueLink features, it gets Alexa mode, it gets Valley mode, it gets a lot of atmospheric nature sounds, which all new generation Hyundai cars are getting. You also get inbuilt maps, and apart from that, you get over the air updates and many things like that. Coming to the center console, you get 3 buttons. One is to turn on the parking sensors on and off. Now this is the only car in the segment that gets parking sensors in the front of the car and rear of the car, and since this is the longest car in the segment, it does really help. You also get a dedicated button to turn on the parking camera in the rear, and you also get a switch to change the driving modes in this car. Now behind that you get the gear lever. Since we are driving the manual variant, it's a very short throw transmission that I have told you already is very fun to engage to. Behind that you get 2 cup holders and an armrest which you can open to reveal more space. You also get a massive glove box which you can put a lot of things inside, and the door pads themselves, they get a lot of space. One more thing which is unique to the Hyundai Verna is the 8 speaker system from Bose, and guys, trust us, it does sound like you are sitting in a theater. It sounds awesome. Above me is a sunroof. Now let's all about the front and the driver seat and the co-driver seat of the Hyundai Verna. Now let's quickly jump to the rear seats and check out the space of the new car. Now before we do that, let me adjust the front seat according to my height so that we can really check out how much space the rear seats get. The driver seat, it is electrically adjustable, as you can see. However, for the height you will have to use the manual lever. I don't know why Hyundai has missed the height adjustment. We would have liked it more if we got the height adjustment in the same electrical settings as well. Now space in the rear seats were one of the major concerns of the older generation Hyundai Verna. With the new generation car, Hyundai has addressed that quite well. You now get 93 mm of longer knee room, 120 mm of longer leg space, and also the shoulder room, it has grown by 25 mm. Now as you can see, the front seat, it is adjusted according to my height, and I can sit pretty comfortably in the rear seats. So the customers who will want this car as a chauffeur driven vehicle can now also look at the new Hyundai Verna as a choice. Now coming to the features, you get 2 AC vents in the rear and a space to keep your phone and small items in the center console as well. You get 2 USB Type-C chargers, and coming to the space, there are seat pockets behind both the front seats. You also get this retractable armrest with 2 cup holders in between. There is space to my side on the driver door as well. Now since the height of the new Hyundai Verna, it hasn't changed. The windows, they start at your shoulder height, and as on the longer journeys you want to look outside, you do not really feel claustrophobic because the windows are quite wide. You also get adjustable headrests in the rear. However, the passenger who is going to sit in the middle seat of the rear, they won't get any kind of headrests. One of the major things that I must say that Hyundai has improved a lot upon is the space, and they get double thumbs up for the same. Now Hyundai has also improved the boot space massively. Let's quickly jump out of the car and check out how bigger the boot space has really become. Now before we show you the boot space of the Hyundai Verna, I am walking towards the car with things in both of my hands. Now you often get into this situation, and for that Hyundai has actually added a very smart feature. What is that? This is it, guys. So the key fob is still in my pocket, and as you stand close to the boot, it will automatically open up for you. Talking about the boot space itself, compared to the last generation Hyundai Verna, it is now 48 liters bigger, which means you get a total boot space of 528 liters. Hyundai has also increased the loading lip, which means it gets a 41 mm of wider loading space, which means you can put in your bigger luggage with ease. Now coming to the end, we are not really comparing the all-new Verna with the Maruti Suzuki Ciaz, since that car has not been updated for a long time in the Indian market. Now compared to the City, Virtus and Slavia, the Hyundai Verna gets the most affordable starting price tag of only rupees 10.9 lakh. Now, even if we compare the fully loaded top-end version, which means the version with the 1.5 litre turbocharged engine and the DCT transmission, the all-new Hyundai Verna, it remains at least 1 lakh cheaper than the likes of the Slavia and the Virtus. This car also gets the most powerful engine in the segment, and trust us guys that 8.1 seconds figure of 0 to 100, it really is very fast on the Indian roads. Since the all-new Hyundai Verna also gets a futuristic design and it's the latest car in the market, it also grabs the most number of attention and eyeballs on the roads. And trust us guys, we have seen it happening today while we were driving the car around the city. Now this car right here, it also gets the longest list of features, and there is not a single feature that you will feel that is missing from this vehicle. The space inside, it has grown as well, and it can now comfortably seat at least 5 people, which means this has become a perfect car for a mid-sized Indian family. Overall, the all-new Hyundai Verna will definitely challenge the segment leader Honda City, and it will definitely eat into the sales of the likes of the Slavia and the Virtus. Now, what do you think about the all-new Hyundai Verna? Do let us know in the comment section below, and as always, do not forget to subscribe to the Car Talk channel and press the bell icon to get regular updates.